Be me, 27. Junior Logistics Coordinator. Fancy title for a guy who moves numbers from one spreadsheet to a slightly different spreadsheet, sitting in a cubicle that hasn't been renovated since the Bush administration. The fabric on the partition walls is peeling at the corners, revealing the yellowed glue underneath. It smells like ozone and stale cinnamon vape juice. 2:14 p.m. on a Tuesday, the absolute dead zone of human productivity, staring at a dual monitor setup. Left monitor is an Excel sheet with 14,000 rows of shipping manifest codes. Right monitor is a Wikipedia article on the Bronze Age collapse. I have read the paragraph about the sea peoples 4 times. Brain is refusing to absorb information, just sliding off the smooth surface of my frontal lobe. Ambient noise level is a dull roar of white noise. HVAC system rattling overhead like it's digesting a bag of bolts. 3 rows over, Sharon is coughing. Wet, heavy smoker coughs that sound like tearing Velcro. She does this every 7 minutes. I have timed it. I consider calculating the standard deviation of her cough intervals, but realize that is the saddest thought I have ever had. Look down at my hands. Skin looks pale under the fluorescent hum. Slight tremor in the left thumb. Probably caffeine overdose. 4 cups of office sludge since 8 a.m. The coffee here tastes like battery acid filtered through a dirty gym sock. But I drink it because it is free, and it gives my hands something to do. Click a cell in column G. Verify the SKU matches the invoice. It does. Highlight the row in green. Dopamine hit is non-existent. Feel a physical weight pressing behind my eyes. The sheer pointlessness of this activity is creating a gravity well in my skull. Hear the squeak of rubber soles on industrial carpet. Dread coils in my stomach. I know that walk. It's Gary from Accounts Receivable. Gary is 34, wears polos that are too tight around the biceps, and has a laugh that sounds like a donkey choking on a kazoo. He stops at the entrance of my cube, doesn't knock on the partition, just looms. Hey buddy, working hard or hardly working? The phrase hits me like a physical slap. My soul leaves my body for a microsecond, force my face into a grimace that is legally distinct from a smile. Just grinding through the end-of-month stuff, Gary. Voice sounds tinny and weak. I hate how I sound when I talk to these people. Submissive. Apologetic for existing. Gary leans against the peeling fabric wall. I watch a flake of dry glue detach and drift toward the floor. Hear that, he says, taking a sip from a shaker bottle full of gray sludge. Protein shake. Smells like chalk and artificial vanilla. Hey, so listen, are we still on for the fantasy draft this weekend? Brian said you might be a maybe. I am not a maybe. I am a hard no. I have never expressed interest in football. I do not know who is playing. I actively despise the concept of organized sports as a substitute for tribal warfare. But 3 weeks ago I panicked when Brian asked me in the break room, and I mumbled something that wasn't a rejection. Now I am trapped in a social contract I never signed. Look at Gary's expectant face. He has a small piece of spinach stuck between his lateral incisor and canine. I focus on the spinach. I think I have to visit my parents. I lie. My mom is having surgery. The lie is clumsy. Too big. Gary's eyebrows go up. Oh shit, really? Nothing serious, I hope. Gallbladder, I say, doubling down on the medical improvisation. Routine, but you know, gotta drive her back. Gary nods, looking genuinely sympathetic. Totally get it, man. Family first. Hope she recovers fast. He pushes off the wall. Catch you later, bud. He walks away. Squeak, squeak, squeak. I sit in silence. Heart rate is elevated to 110 BPM. Adrenaline spike from a minor social interaction. Pathetic. Now I have to remember that my mother has a gallbladder issue. I have to build a lore Bible for my own lies just to avoid drinking light beer with men named Brian and Gary. Alt-tab away from the Excel sheet. Open a new tab. Symptoms of gallbladder removal recovery time. Need to make sure the timeline checks out for next week. Scroll through WebMD. Abdominal pain, nausea, bloating. Feel all 3 of those things right now just sitting in this chair. Maybe my gallbladder is actually failing. Maybe the stress of verifying shipping codes is causing organ failure. That would be a relief. A valid medical excuse to lay in a hospital bed with a morphine drip and not talk to anyone. Look at the clock. 2:23 p.m. 9 minutes have passed since the last time I checked. Time is dilating. The universe is punishing me for my lack of ambition. Minimize Chrome. Back to the spreadsheet. Row 14,042. SKU 884B. Industrial solvent 50-gallon drum. Destination, Wichita, Kansas. Imagine the drum of solvent. Imagine drinking it. Probably tastes better than the coffee. Highlight row in green. My phone buzzes on the desk. Vibrate mode against the laminate wood. Sounds like a trapped hornet. Glance at the screen. Notification from Mom. Did you see the email I forwarded you? Aunt Linda's cat died. Stare at the message. Aunt Linda has had 6 cats in the last decade. They all die of obesity-related complications. She feeds them lasagna. I do not care about the cat. I do not care about Linda. But the guilt circuit in my brain fires anyway. Pick up the phone. Type sad news, will call later. Put phone face down. Cannot deal with the emotional labor of consoling a woman I see once a year about a diabetic feline. Rub my temples. Feel the grease on my forehead. Haven't showered in 2 days. Just dry shampoo and deodorant. Depression hygiene. Look around the office again. Across the aisle, the new intern is typing furiously. He is 22. Wearing a suit jacket. He still thinks this matters. He thinks if he highlights enough rows, someone will notice. Someone will come down from the executive floor and hand him a key to the city. I want to throw a stapler at his head. Not to hurt him. Just to wake him up. To shatter the glass illusion before he wastes 5 years like I did. But I don't. I just watch him. Resentment simmering in my gut like acid reflux. He has a Funko Pop on his desk. Iron Man. It stares at me with dead black eyes. Plastic junk meant to signal personality. I look at my own desk. It is empty. No photos. No plants. No toys. Just dust and a stack of Post-it notes from 2019. I am a ghost in this machine. I leave no trace. If I died right now, they could have this cubicle cleaned and assigned to a new temp within 45 minutes. The thought is oddly comforting. Anonymity is a shield. If I am nothing, I cannot be criticized. Sharon coughs again. Wet Velcro. I close my eyes and count to 10. 2:28 p.m. Only 3.5 hours left. Then I can go home. Sit in front of a different screen and wait for sleep. Open the Excel sheet. Row 14,043. Verify SKU. Highlight green. This is it. This is the peak of my existence. Baseline rot. Outlook notification. Sound cuts through the silence. Ding. A sound that triggers a Pavlovian spike of cortisol. Lower right corner of the screen. Mandatory team sync conference room B. Starts in 5 minutes. Stare at the pop-up until it fades away. Mandatory. The word tastes like chalk. I look at the spreadsheet. Row 14,043 is still highlighted green. It was safe there. It was logical. Now I have to perform. I have to interact with biological entities. Sigh deeply. The air in my lungs feels recycled. Push the chair back. The wheels catch on the plastic floor mat. It's cracked in the center. Every time I roll over it, it makes a crunching sound. Crunch. Stand up. Knees pop. Spinal column feels like a stack of loose change. Grab my notebook. I haven't written anything in it for 3 months. It's a prop. Essential camouflage for the corporate drone. Walk past the intern's desk. He's already standing up, bouncing on the balls of his feet. Eager. He has a notepad too. Leather bound. Probably a graduation gift. He catches my eye and smiles. Hey, ready for the huddle? He asks. His voice is too loud, too modulate. He sounds like a podcast host. I grunt something non-committal. Yeah. Keep walking. Don't engage. If you engage, they latch on. Walk down the gray corridor. The carpet is a chaotic pattern of gray and slightly darker gray swirls, designed to hide coffee stains. It looks like TV static. Past the break room. Smell of burnt popcorn wafting out. Someone burned popcorn at 2:30 p.m. Psychological terrorism. Reach conference room B. Glass walls. The fishbowl. Everyone inside is visible to the hallway. Transparency. Accountability. Panopticon. Slide the door open. The air inside is 5 degrees colder than the hallway. Smell of dry erase markers and cheap cologne. Gary is at the head of the table. Middle management archetype. Bald spot carefully combed over. Shirt tucked in too tight. He's trying to connect his laptop to the projector. Fumbling with an HDMI dongle. Hey guys, just getting the tech sorted, Gary says. He laughs nervously. Nobody laughs back. I take a seat at the far end of the table. Furthest from the screen. Furthest from Gary. The intern sits next to me. Of course. He opens his leather notebook. Uncap a fancy pen. Writes the date at the top of the page. Underscores it. I open my notebook. Blank page. I draw a small cube in the corner. Then I draw another cube. Gary finally gets the screen to work. A PowerPoint slide appears. Q3 Synergy and Optimization. Comic Sans font for the title. I feel a vein throb in my temple. Sharon walks in last, clutching a mug that says "Don't talk to me until I've had my coffee." It is the afternoon. The mug is a lie. She sits directly across from me. She looks clammy. Sorry I'm late, she wheezes. Just had to circle back on the vendor tickets. Gary nods benevolently. No worries, Sharon, we're just kicking off. Gary stands up, puts his hands on his hips. Power pose. So, I called this sync because upper management is looking at our metrics. He pauses for effect. And they are interesting. Vague dread settles over the room. Not panic. Just the dull ache of knowing this meeting will go overtime. We need to tighten up the workflow, Gary says. Less friction, more output. We need to be agile. Buzzword bingo. I stare at the water pitcher in the center of the table. Condensation dripping down the side. A single drop traces a path through the dust on the glass. Gravity is the only honest thing in this room. Tyler, you've been doing great with the data entry, Gary says. He points at the intern. Tyler beams. Actually glows. Thanks, Gary. I've been trying to automate some of the SKU matching using Python. The room goes silent. Sharon stops coughing for a second. I freeze. Automating. Using Python. This kid is going to get us all fired. If he automates the SKU matching, what do I do? What does Sharon do? We are the manual SKU matchers. Our existence depends on the inefficiency of the system. Gary looks confused. Python like the snake. Gary is a dinosaur. He thinks Excel 97 is high tech. It's a coding language, Tyler explains. Earnest, helpful, suicidal. I think I can reduce the daily workload by about 40% if I implement a script. I grip my pen so hard the plastic bends. Shut up. Shut up, you eager little moron. You don't optimize the workflow. You pad the workflow. That is the unspoken contract. You do just enough to not get fired, and the company pays you just enough to not quit. If you break the equilibrium, everything collapses. Gary blinks. Well, that sounds innovative. But let's stick to the SOP for now, okay? We don't want to reinvent the wheel without approval from legal. Thank God for bureaucracy. Thank God for Gary's fear of change. Tyler looks crestfallen. Oh, okay, just thought it would help. Keep the enthusiasm though, Gary says. That's the spirit we need. Now let's go around the table. Status updates. Sharon launches into a 5-minute monologue about a missing shipment of staples. She speaks slowly, savoring every detail. And then I called logistics, and they said it was on the truck, but the truck had a flat tire in Ohio. I zone out. Look at the whiteboard behind Gary. Someone has written, "Do not erase," in red marker. Underneath it is a drawing of a pie chart. Meaningless. My turn is coming. Heart rate increases slightly. Purely physiological response. I don't care about the job. But the social pressure of the circle is real. Instinctual herd behavior. Don't be the weak link. Don't be the outlier. Sharon finishes her saga of the staple. Gary nods. Good catch on that, Sharon. Anon. Gary looks at me. Tyler looks at me. Sharon looks at me. Even the dead eyes of the projector seem to look at me. Throat feels dry. Inventory audits are on track, I say. Voice sounds rusty. Finished the 800 series SKUs this morning. Moving onto the 900s. Should be done by Friday. Lie. I could finish the 900s in an hour. but I needed to take 3 days. Gary purses his lips. Friday seems a bit slow and on. Didn't you say you were on the 800s last week? Heat rises in my neck. Prickly heat. Shame. Resentment. There were some discrepancies, I say. Improvisation. Data mismatch in the legacy system. Had to cross-reference manually. Jargon defense mechanism. Throw enough technical terms at Gary, and he backs down. He doesn't know what legacy system means. He just knows it sounds annoying to deal with. All right, Gary says. Legacy issues. Well, try to push through it. We need those numbers for the quarter close. Maybe Tyler can help you speed it up. My blood turns to ice. I think I've got it handled, I say quickly. It's a specific process. Requires nuance. Tyler looks at me. He knows. He knows I'm full of it. He saw my screen earlier. He saw me staring at Wikipedia articles about serial killers for 40 minutes. But he doesn't say anything. He just nods. Let me know if you need a hand, anon. The condescension. Accidental or not. It burns. Being pitied by a 22-year-old with an Iron Man doll. This is a new low. Okay, let's wrap this up, Gary says. Remember guys, synergy. Let's touch base again on Thursday. Meeting adjourned. Everyone stands up. Scraping of chairs. The noise is deafening in the small room. Shuffle out the door. Escape the fishbowl. Back into the hallway. The air is warmer here. Heavier. I walk fast. Head down. Avoiding eye contact. Need to get away. Need a sanctuary. Head for the bathrooms. The only place with a lock. Push the door open. Smell of industrial cherry disinfectant and stale urine. 3 stalls. 2 are occupied. Middle one is free. Go in. Slide the latch. The click is the most satisfying sound I've heard all day. Sit down on the closed lid. Put my head in my hands. Darkness. Quiet. Except for the guy in the next stall breathing heavily. Probably playing Candy Crush. Or crying. Hard to tell the difference in this place. Check my phone. 3:15 p.m. The meeting took 45 minutes. Felt like 4 years. My face feels greasy. I can feel the oil in my pores. Rub my forehead. Look at the graffiti on the stall door. Scratched into the gray paint with a key. Gary sucks. Simple. Eloquent. Timeless. I didn't write it. But I agree with the sentiment. Pull a pen from my pocket. Hover it over the door. Want to add something. Want to leave a mark. Prove I was here. Prove I exist outside of the spreadsheet. But I don't. Too much effort. Put the pen away. Stand up. Flush the toilet even though I didn't use it. Part of the ritual. Wash hands. Look in the mirror. Pale skin. Dark circles. Eyes look glassy. Dead fish eyes. I look like a background character in a movie about insurance fraud. Dry hands under the air blower. It screams like a jet engine. Doesn't actually dry anything. Just spreads the bacteria around. Wipe damp hands on pants. Exit bathroom. Back to the floor. Back to the rows. Walk past Tyler's desk. He's typing furiously again. Click-clack, click-clack. Mechanical keyboard. He brought his own keyboard from home. Blue switches. Loud. Aggressive. He's coding the script. He's actually doing it. I can see the code on his screen. Green text on black background. Looks like the Matrix. He's building my obsolescence. Line by line. He stops typing. Reaches for his water bottle. Takes a sip. Adjusts the Iron Man Funko Pop. Turns it slightly so it faces my empty cubicle. A sentinel. Watching my rot. I sit down at my desk. Chair squeaks. Screensaver is on. Bubbles floating across a black void. Move the mouse. Bubbles pop. Spreadsheet reappears. Row 14,043. It's still there. Waiting. Faithful. Verify SKU. Highlight green. My hand is shaking slightly. Just a tremor. Simmering rage. Or low blood sugar. Probably both. Sharing coughs from across the aisle. Wet. Rattle. Heavy. Oog hack. It sounds like she's dying. Or evolving. I put my headphones on. No music. Just the noise canceling. Muffled silence. The world is underwater. Type the next number. Row 14,044. This is the war. Attrition. Me versus the rows. Me versus the intern. Me versus the slow decay of time. And I am losing. Focus on the screen. Row 14,044. Item description. Industrial hose clamp 3/4-inch stainless. Verify against the PDF invoice on the second monitor. PDF is scanned crooked. Scan resolution is garbage. Looks like it was faxed to 1995 and back. Have to tilt my head 45 degrees to read the part number. Neck cracks. Loud pop. Sharon flinches in her cubicle. Doesn't look up though. She's too busy dying of consumption. Squint at the pixels. End hose CLMP. Close enough. Highlight cell. Click fill color. Select good green. Not the neon default green that burns your retinas. The custom pastel green I set up 3 years ago. My one act of rebellion. Aesthetic control. Control plus S. The little blue circle spins. Cursor freezes. Windows title bar says, not responding. Panic flares for a microsecond. If it crashes, I lose the last 10 rows. I lose 12 minutes of my life. Unrecoverable time. Stare at the spinning circle. Plead with the silicon gods. Come on, you piece of junk. Screen flickers. Circle disappears. Saved. Breath out. Heart rate returns to resting depressive. Row 14,045. Hey man. Voice cuts through the noise canceling. Muffled but distinct. Youthful. Enthusiastic. Disgusting. I don't look up. Keep staring at row 14,045. Maybe if I don't acknowledge him, he'll glitch out. Maybe he's an NPC and his pathfinding is broken. Hey Anon. A hand enters my peripheral vision. Pale, manicured fingernails. Taps my desk. Right next to my stapler. Tap, tap, tap. The vibration travels through the laminate. Into my wrist. I slide the headphones off one ear. Just enough to hear him. Leave the left cup on. Safety blanket. What? Voice cracks. Haven't spoken in 3 hours. Vocal cords are rusty. Clear throat. What is it, Tyler? Turn my chair slightly. The hydraulics hiss. Sinking feeling, literally and metaphorically. Think I got it working. He's grinning. Standing over me. Leaning on the partition wall. Wearing a hoodie that says Stanford. He didn't go to Stanford. He went to State. Stole the hoodie from an ex-girlfriend. Told me that on his first day. Thought we were bonding. We were not. Teeth too white. Skin too clear. No bags under his eyes. He sleeps 8 hours a night. Probably dreams of electric sheep. The script, I ask. Feigning ignorance. Hoping he failed. Hoping he hit a runtime error that destroyed his will to live. Yeah, the VBA macro. I hooked it into the Python backend. Bypassed the GUI entirely. Words that mean nothing to Gary. Words that mean you are obsolete to me. Cool. Flat tone. Deadpan. Wanna see. I want to go home. I want to dissolve into the carpet. Sure. Stand up. Legs stiff. Pins and needles in my left foot. Blood rushing back to extremities. Stumble slightly. Catch myself on the desk. Tyler doesn't notice. He's already walking away. Bouncing on the balls of his feet. Energy drink in his veins. Follow him to his cubicle. It's adjacent to mine, but feels like a different tax bracket. Cleaner. Brighter. Dual monitors on a gas spring arm. Vertical alignment on the left screen. Code cascading down it. Colorful syntax highlighting. Blues and pinks and purples. Looks like a cyberpunk city skyline. My screen looks like a prison roster. Check this out. He sits down. Ergonomic chair. Mesh back. Looks expensive. He brought it himself. So I loaded the raw CSV here. Points to a file icon. And I wrote this parser to handle the irregular nomenclature. He taps the enter key. Mechanical switch. Asterisk clack asterisk. Loud. Decisive. Satisfying. Unlike my membrane keyboard, which feels like typing on mashed potatoes, the command prompt flashes black. White text starts scrolling. Too fast to read. Blur of data. Processing row 100, 500, 1200. The counter is a blur. Numbers ticking up like a slot machine jackpot. Except the prize is my unemployment. I watch the rows fly by. Row 14,046. The one I was just about to do. Gone. Processed. Categorized. Validated. Row 15,000. Row 20,000. It passes my work for next month. It passes my work for next year. The fan on Tyler's laptop spins up. Whining pitch. The only sign of effort. And done. Silence. 45,000 rows. Flagged 12 discrepancies. Auto-corrected 300 formatting errors. Took 14 seconds. 14 seconds. I do about 800 rows a day. On a good day. If I don't take bathroom breaks. If I don't stare at the water stain on the ceiling that looks like Nixon. 14 seconds versus 3 months of my life. I feel sick. Physical nausea. Acid in the back of my throat. Wow, I say. That's fast. Right? Optimization is crazy. The old way was so inefficient. The old way. I am the old way. I am the horse and buggy. He is the Model T. And he just ran me over. What are we looking at, boys? Gary, materialized out of the ether. Middle management stealth perk. Wears soft-soled loafers. Khakis that make a swishing sound. Tyler figured out the SKU validation, I say. Trying to speak first. Trying to frame it. I was helping him test the logic. Lie. Pathetic lie. Tyler doesn't even correct me. He doesn't need to. The screen speaks for itself. Check this out, Gary, Tyler says. Ignoring my existence. I ran the whole quarter's backlog. The whole backlog. Gary's eyebrows go up. Greedy look. Calculating bonus potential. Yeah, clean data, ready for import. Gary leans in. Smells like stale coffee and cologne. Tyler, this is huge. Puts a hand on Tyler's shoulder. The squeeze of approval. The knighting ceremony. This is going to save us so much overhead. Overhead. Word echoes in the cubicle. Bounces off the gray fabric walls. Overhead is rent. Overhead is electricity. Overhead is salaries. Overhead is me. Send me the output file, Gary says. And CC Sharon, she needs to see this. What about Anon? Tyler asks. Innocent. Naive. Or cruel. Can't tell. Oh sure, CC Anon he can. Double check a few lines for Ka. Quality assurance. I have been demoted to spell check. Good work, kid. Really. We need to talk about your review next week. Gary walks away. Swish, swish, swish. Leaving a wake of anxiety. Hear that? Tyler beams. Spins in his chair. Review next week. Think I'm getting a raise. Probably, I say. You earned it. Words taste like ash. Thanks, man. Couldn't have done it without you showing me how the sheets work initially. Pity. He's giving me pity points. Yeah, no problem. Turn around. Walk back to my desk. Sit down. Chair squeaks. Loud protest. Sounds like a fart. Nobody laughs. Nobody cares. Look at my screen. Row 14,045. Still waiting. Still green. Waiting for input. But it's already done. The ghost in the machine did it. Why am I even here? Minimize the spreadsheet. Stare at the desktop background. Default Windows blue. Come. Empty. Look at the time. 3:45 p.m. Need to get away. Need to go to the kitchen. Stand up again. Knees pop. Loud crack. Body is falling apart. Sitting is killing me. Stress is killing me. Tyler is killing me. Walk past Sharon. She's on the phone. Handset cradled against her shoulder. Typing with one finger. Hunt and peck. No, I need the tracking number. Yes, the tracking number. Coughs. Hacks directly into the receiver. Sorry, just a tickle. It's not a tickle, Sharon. It's the plague. Walk into the break room. Sanctuary. Fluorescent light flickers overhead. Buzzing sound. 60 hertz hum. Maddening if you listen too long. Open the fridge. Wall of smell hits me. Old Tupperware. Rotting lettuce. Someone's yogurt has evolved a civilization. Blue fuzz growing on the lid. Sentient dairy. Close the fridge. Not hungry anyway. Stomach is in knots. Lean against the counter. Look at the microwave. Caked in exploded marinara sauce. Dried red splatter pattern. Looks like a tiny murder scene. Someone nuked a lasagna and didn't cover it. Probably Kevin. Kevin respects nothing. Door opens. Speak of the devil. Kevin from sales. Loud tie. Paisley pattern that hurts to look at. Loud voice. Boombox capability. Hey buddy, refueling. It's 3:50 p.m. Just stretching, I say. Gotta stay limber. Sitting is the new smoking, they say. He laughs. Forceful exhalation. Hi. Slaps his belly. You hear about the intern. News travels fast in the hive. Tyler. Yeah, kid's a wizard. Gary says he's gonna automate the whole inventory department. Inventory department. That's me. Just me. Yeah, wizard. Crazy what tech can do now. AI and all that. Adapt or die, right? He slaps my arm. Friendly gesture. Feels like a judgment. Adapt or die, I repeat. Robotic. Anyway, catch you on the flip side, chief. Grabs a water from the fridge. Leaves. Doesn't even wash his hands. I am alone with the microwave. Stare at the red splatter. Imagine cleaning it. Imagine scrubbing it until it's white again. Control. I need control over something. Pick up a paper towel. Wet it. Start scrubbing the microwave door. Circular motions. Wax on, wax off. The sauce is baked on. Hard as cement. Scrub harder. Paper towel tears. Fingernail scrapes the plastic. Horrible sound. Screech. Give up. Throw the wet ball of paper in the trash. Miss the bin. Lands on the floor. Stare at it. Leave it there. Small act of anarchy. Return to desk. Tyler is typing again. Clack, clack, clack. Rhythm of victory. Sound of blue switches. Tactile feedback. He's probably coding a replacement for Sharon now. Sit down. Email notification pops up. Bottom right corner. From Tyler. Subject output CSV. No body text. Just the file. Efficient. Brutal. Open it. Excel launches. 45,000 rows. Perfect columns. Clean data. Standardized font. Arial size 10. It's beautiful. I hate it so much. My hands are shaking. Just a little. Tremors in the fingers. Rage. Caffeine withdrawal. Fear. All of the above. I need to find a mistake. I need to prove the machine is fallible. I need to prove I exist. Scroll down. Row 3200. Check the description. Correct. Row 8900. Correct. Row 12400. Correct. Eyes burning. Glare from the window hits my screen. Sun is setting. Depressing winter sun. Weak light. Dust motes dancing in the beam. Inhaling Tyler's dead skin cells. Inhaling the toner dust from the printer. Keep scrolling. Desperate. Scrolling wheel on the mouse squeaks. Row 22104. Stop. Bracket mounting zinc. Tyler's sheet says bracket MNTZN. The abbreviation. The system prefers full words for the invoice. It's a discrepancy. My heart does a weird flutter thing. Atrial fibrillation or vindication. Probably both. Lean closer to the monitor. Nose almost touching the pixels. MNT vs mounting. ZN vs zinc. The legacy database is finicky. It was built in 2004 using FoxPro. It hates change. It hates ambiguity. It hates Tyler. I know this system. I have nursed it through server migrations and power outages. I know its temperament. If you feed it abbreviations without the proper escape characters, the invoice generation script hangs. It creates a logic loop. It crashes the spooler. Tyler doesn't know about the spooler. Tyler thinks data is just fluid. Tyler thinks information wants to be free. Information wants to be standardized, you little shit. Check the other rows. Scroll down. Row 23,000. Alum instead of aluminum. Row 25,400. BLK instead of black. It's systemic. The script he wrote is aggressive with truncation. It's trying to optimize character counts for a column width limitation that doesn't exist in the Excel view, but it exists in the print layout. Wait, that's backwards. The legacy system asterisk needs asterisk the full text to match the SKU master list. If the text doesn't match the master list string for string, the VLOOKUP fails. Returning hash in /a. 45,000 rows of hash in /a. A cascade of failure. A total system halt. Smile stretches across my face. Feels foreign. Skin feels tight, like dried mud cracking. This is it. The kid got arrogant. He tried to bypass the lookup tables to save processing time. Rookie mistake. Hubris. I save the file locally. Tyler XLSX. Save a backup copy just in case. Stand up. Knees pop loud enough to be heard over the hum of the HVAC. Tyler doesn't hear it. He's got those noise-canceling Sonys on. Head bobbing slightly. Probably listening to a podcast about crypto or biohacking. I walk over to his desk. It's standing, obviously. Motorized sit-stand converter. He's standing on a balance board. Constant motion. Twitchy energy. I stand in his peripheral vision. Wait for him to acknowledge me. He doesn't. He's locked in, coding the next phase of my obsolescence. I tap the edge of his desk, avoiding the monitor. Don't want to leave fingerprints on his pristine 4K display. He jumps, pulls one ear cup back. Oh hey, didn't see you there. What's up? Voice is disgustingly cheerful. Lack of stress. Smooth skin. Bright eyes. We have a problem with the output, I say. Voice sounds deeper than I expected. Authoritative. Almost enjoyed the sound of it. Tyler blinks. The CSV. I ran the validation script. 0 null values. Not nulls, I say. Cross my arms. Lean against the cubicle wall. Try to look like the seasoned veteran. The grizzled detective telling the rookie he missed a clue. Data integrity. The descriptions. You're truncating the material types. Tyler frowns. Spins his mouse wheel. Yeah, I set a limit of 6 chars for material tags. Keeps the file size down. The legacy system, I say, lowering my voice like I'm sharing state secrets. The SKU master requires full string matching. Aluminum, not alum. Zinc, not ZN. If you upload this, the invoice generator will throw a type mismatch error for every single line. Item. I wait for the panic. I wait for the realization that he has to manually redo it, or rewrite his entire parser. Wait for him to ask for my help. Tyler just tilts his head. The legacy system. The S/400 interface, I clarify. Oh. He looks confused. Not scared. Just confused. Like I'm speaking Latin. Gary said we're bypassing the S/400 for this quarter. We're pushing directly to the cloud ERP. Silence. The air conditioning vent above us hisses. What? Yeah, the cloud ERP uses fuzzy matching. It actually prefers the truncated tags because it maps them to the UNSPS codes automatically. Alum is better than aluminum because it eliminates spelling variants. My stomach drops. Feels like I swallowed a stone. Gary said that. Yeah, in the stand-up this morning. I wasn't invited to the stand-up. I have never been invited to a stand-up. I don't even know where they stand. Fuzzy matching, I repeat. Word tastes like ash. Yeah, it's pretty sick. Uses a basic ML model to guess the category based on context. I trained it on last year's data over the weekend. While I was watching reruns of Top Gear and eating frozen pizza, he was training a machine learning model to make my knowledge of SKU codes worthless. Are you sure? I ask. Desperate now. Grasping at straws. The invoice layout. The customer expects full words. Tyler shrugs. Puts his hand back on his mouse. Customer gets a PDF generated from the cloud side. It re-expands the abbreviations based on the client's locale settings. It's dynamic. Dynamic. Of course it is. Everything is dynamic. Except me. I am static. I am a fixed point in a turning world. Oh, I say. Good, just checking. Thanks for looking out though, Tyler says. Puts his headphone back on. Turns back to the screen. Dismissed. I stand there for a second, looking at the back of his head, looking at the curve of his neck, the expensive haircut. He doesn't even hate me. He doesn't even think about me enough to hold a grudge. I'm just an NPC with bad dialogue options. Walk back to my desk. Legs feel heavy. Lead weights in my shoes. Sit down. Chair squeaks. Loud mournful sound. Open the Tyler XLSX file again. Stare at the ZN. It's right. He's right. The machine is right. Delete the file. Empty the recycle bin. Immediate permanent deletion. Look at the time. 4:15 p.m. 45 minutes left. 45 minutes of pretending to work. Open Outlook. Compose new email. To Gary. Subject inventory update. Cursor blinks. What do I even say? I am still here. Please give me a task that a Python script cannot do in 3 seconds. Close the email. Don't save draft. Look around the office. Beige walls. Fluorescent lights humming at 60 Hz. Carpet with coffee stains from 2008. Sharon from accounting is walking past. She's holding a stack of papers. Real papers. Physical media. Hey Sharon, I say. Too loud. Voice cracks. She stops. Looks surprised. Oh hi, Anon. You need help with those. Oh no, I'm just taking them to the shredder. We digitized these last week. Right, digitized. Have a good night, she says. Walks away. Faster than usual. I am radioactive. I emit a low-level field of awkwardness and failure. Open a browser tab. Incognito mode. Type average severance package for inventory manager. Backspace. Type how to learn Python at 40. Stare at the search results. Bootcamp for seniors. Coding for dummies. Close the tab. Too depressing. Open Solitaire. The Windows 95 version I have on a flash drive. The only thing I have control over. Deal the cards. Red on black. Black on red. Order from chaos. Tyler types in the background. Clack, clack, clack. The sound of the future shoveling dirt onto my grave. Cards cascade down the screen. Pixelated victory. The king bounces off the bottom of the window. Trails of red and black smear cross the green felt background. No dopamine hit. Just the mild satisfaction of ordering a small, inconsequential universe. Check the system clock in the bottom right corner. 4:22 p.m. Time has become a viscous substance. It pools around my ankles like cooling tar. Tyler stands up. Stretches. His shirt doesn't untuck. Tailored fit. Everything about him is optimized. Heading out a bit early, Gary, he says. Projects his voice just enough to reach the corner office. Gary shouts back instantly. Sure thing, Tyler. Great work on the migration. Great work on the migration. I migrated a stapler from the left side of my desk to the right side 3 hours ago. Tyler starts packing his bag. Sleek gray canvas. Leather straps. Probably cost more than my monthly grocery budget. Slides his MacBook in. Gentle click of the magnet latch. He doesn't even look at me. Doesn't check if I'm watching. Later, he says to the room at large. Later, I whisper. The sound dies in my throat. Nobody hears. He walks out the glass doors. Swipe badge beeps. Door clicks shut. The air pressure in the room seems to drop. The alpha predator has left the territory. The scavengers can relax. I sit there for 38 minutes, staring at the desktop wallpaper. Default Windows landscape. Rolling green hills. Perfectly manicured. Digital grass that never needs cutting. Never turns brown. Static. 5 o'clock p.m. Wait 2 minutes. Don't want to look eager. Don't want them to know I've been counting the seconds since lunch. 5:02 p.m. Shut down PC. The fan spins down. Whine of the hard drive ceases. Silence rushes in to fill the void. Grab my coat. Generic department store wool blend. Pilling at the elbows from rubbing against the desk. Walk to the elevator. Press the button. Wait. Doors open. Empty. Step inside. Look at my reflection in the polished brass handrail. Distorted. Wide forehead. Non-existent chin. Funhouse mirror version of a man. Ground floor. Lobby smells like floor wax and damp umbrellas. Nod to the security guard. He's looking at his phone. Doesn't see me. I am a ghost in a polo shirt. Step outside. Gray sky. Pavement is wet, but it's not raining anymore. Just that post-rain humidity that makes your clothes stick. Walk to the parking garage. Level 3. Spot 304. 2011 Honda Civic. Silver. Invisible car. Get in. Smells like stale fast food and dust. Turn the key. Engine hesitates. A split second of panic. Then it catches. Rattle of the exhaust heat shield. Radio comes on automatically. Classic rock block. Hotel California. Change the station. Commercials. Change the station. Static. Turn it off. Drive home in silence. Stop and go traffic. Sea of red taillights stretching to the horizon. Brake. Gas. Break. We are all blood cells in a clogged artery. Get to the apartment complex. The meadows. No meadows. Just asphalt and dumpsters and beige siding. Walk up the stairs. Key in the lock. Stick slightly. Jiggle it up and down. Open. Apartment smells like nothing. Sterile absence of life. Maybe a hint of old laundry. Toss keys in the bowl. Clatter. Loosen tie. Don't take it off. Just loosen it. Symbolic freedom. Open fridge. Bright LED light illuminates the barren shelves. Half a jar of pickles. Carton of milk that expires tomorrow. Microwave meal. Hungry man. Salisbury steak. Peel back the film on the corner. Vent. Put it in. Press start. 3:30. Hum of the microwave matches the hum of the office lights. Stand there watching the plate spin. Brown meat. Yellow corn. Brown gravy. Rotation. Revolution. Nothing changes. Beep, beep, beep. Take it out. Burn my thumb on the plastic tray. Don't flinch. Sit on the couch. Turn on TV. Don't check the channel. News. Weather. Some game show where people jump over foam obstacles. Eat the steak. Tastes like salt in texture. Meat sponge. Finish eating. Put the tray on the coffee table. Leave it there. Grease starts to congeal. Stare at the TV. Colors flashing on my face. Blue. White. Red. Check phone. No notifications. Check email. No new messages. Check bank account. Same number as yesterday, minus $4 for coffee. Static. Everything is static. Close eyes. Listen to the traffic outside on the highway. Whoosh. Whoosh. Ocean sounds for people who failed. Go to bathroom. Brush teeth. Look in mirror again. Same face. Same tired eyes with bags under them. Dynamic, I say to the mirror. Voice sounds flat. Dead. Turn off the light. Go to bedroom. Lie down. Sheets are cold. Stare at ceiling. Water stain in the corner. Looks like a map of a country that doesn't exist. Set alarm on phone. 6:30 a.m. Calculate hours of sleep. 7 hours and 14 minutes. If I fall asleep right now. Close eyes. Darkness. Wait for sleep. Wait for tomorrow. Wait for the ZN loop to start again. I am data. Waiting to be overwritten.